Okay, so we were kind of all over the place. I had actually started a PO, but I bailed out of it. If I didn't remember how to get there, I'm going to go home, PO homepage. Brandon Moore started this one right here. It currently has nothing that's showing me a problem. This one right here says Cheryl said it is not received yet. You see that right there, Cheryl?
Yeah.
It's minor. Just basically means that you're in kind of a quasi mode. You're not
Okay,
really.
so what is that little thing?
That's just a flag. Okay, it's actually a mouse.
Okay,
It's a mouse, but it's kind of.
that kind of looks like an 8.
You know what? It's because you're in a different browser. What if
Oh,
it's literally
okay.
looking for like webdings and wingdings and all those kind of little funny fonts.
Okay.
Certain browsers play certain different ways, and so yours will still, whatever your flag is, it'll still show
Yeah,
it.
it shows it, yeah.
It just may not be what we had intended it, and that's a browser thing. So.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so basically what I was saying is that we were trying to show you how I could search for 777, so I bailed out of my PO. I kind of lost my flow. I'm going to go re-enter that flow again so that I can still play where I was. All I have to do is click on edit mode of that PO. I'm now in PO number 2. I have 0 line items, and it's totally ready for me to add or search my items. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and add my first item. Now, I know that I don't have anything under Shopco right now at all. This is the first time I'm adding this vendor. And so I'm basically going to, mine says I'm going to get some chips from Shopco. So I'm just going to kind of just say,
Okay, if I'm on the purchase order home page, how am I going to get so that I can
okay,
get
so-
matched?
so here's yours, Cheryl Moore, okay, and you actually got PO number 1 for Walmart. You would just click on edit.
Edit, okay.
And I'm going to click on edit on mine because this is where I'm playing at. Now yours, because yours was a request, can I show everybody on the main screen for just a minute? Watch this. If I click on edit on mine, you can see how I'm ready to start adding items. See this little search option?
Right.
Watch this. If we actually go to Cheryl's, and hers was number 1, and we go into the same little thing, so the edit mode, how come hers doesn't have that search option?
Good question, how come?
Unable to show the line items, PO still marked unreceived. Click the edit main link and mark the PO as received. Then add the line items. So you would click
So you
edit.
didn't say that yours came in?
Yeah, she basically, it's this little feature right there. That little flag, she still had no. Okay, so basically it was going, I guess I'm not even going to play yet as far as how that goes.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going back PO homepage, going to get to mine, edit. So basically we've left the flow multiple times, but I'm able to come right back to what's going on. So in real life what happens is say somebody, you're entering a big PO and it's a quiet time, it's afternoon, no one's really in your store, and then all of a sudden a big rush of people come. What you do is wherever you're working at, you just kind of go help them. And then you might have to re-enter that flow again, okay, later. So it's not a one chance and you're done type of deal. It's kind of like, hey, I just exist. When do you want to get to me? You know, like it'll just sit
And at
there.
any time when you're in the logout process, it signals you on anything that you have pending, so you'll finish it up before you exit.
Okay, so if I start doing,
It would force me to make a choice.
what happens is if I start doing stuff, like right here, I have a PO started. It's PO number 2. It's tied to Shopco. It's currently for $0, and that's it. Okay, so it'll just kind of there's nothing that's pending or hanging because nothing's actually been added to inventory. Nothing's been doing anything, and right now it's saying I owe Shopco $0.
So this one's not a critical issue.
No,
Anything
if I start getting something that's a disconnect, say for instance something like this. Say I had. I'm just going to just kind of slam some stuff in here real quick. Say I had $5 and say I had a fee. And what I want to show you is that it will kind of show you that there's a problem. So now it's showing me a problem right here. Check math, there's a problem. My main, I had told it was 0.
Okay.
But now it's currently 10, okay? Because I had 2 at $5. And if I actually go back to the PO homepage, all of a sudden I have a little frowny face. My mind is kind of, oh, something's wrong. If I look at the frowny face, it says, hey, this shows a mismatch between the amount and the sum of the line items. Okay, so it technically doesn't get in your face really bad, but guess what? I can't get to printable. I can't verify it. I can't do a bunch of things with it because it's kind of, I'm still missing some pieces. Okay, so watch this. If I try to click on PO number 2, say I'm in the quick search and I wanted to go PO number 2, go, it automatically gave me an error message. It exists, but it says, hey, just so you know, I won't even show you the printable version yet because you're out of sync.
But you indicated that that had gone yes to inventory, which means that if inventory were in place, theoretically inventory.
Correct. So
the object would have been changed. Okay.
Correct. So things are already starting to be real time affected. Okay. In order for me to be able to do some stuff, I would just have to hit Edit Main and update my line items to match my amount. Okay. So watch this. If I hit $10 right here, I know I'm kind of jumping around, but I'm showing you how to fix it. All of a sudden I have a printable link. I no longer have the checked math. I no longer have a disconnect right here. And so I can technically go right to the printable version of this PO, even though it's really teeny. PO number 2, it gave me an error message last time. If I hit go, those things to kind of help.
Press any key to continue this conference.
Better check something. That's how we play the game. What I am going to do is I'm going to go edit line items. I know I'm jumping all around. I'm actually going to remove this little thing. I didn't really want this fee in here. Are you sure? Yeah. Back to edit. Okay, so now look at this. It's out of sync again. I don't have any line items. I don't have a printable link. I've got a disconnect. It's because I don't have anything in there. I just removed a line item. Playing. So this is a great error message. This is a good error message, okay? It basically says, hey, part number chips was not found for vendor shop code. What do you want to do? And we're going to say, yep, let's add that. So what this does is it temporarily takes a little side trip, so we can actually enter this as a placeholder for our items. So I'll click on this, and I got 5 bags of these things because I'm going to sell them. And I do want to monitor the quantities, and I'm going to call it basic inventory, and bag of chips. And the cost per on this was $2 per. They gave me $2 per, but I'm going to sell them for $3.50. And I'm going to use the sale price. As I keep moving, it's actually doing some math for me. That's actually at a 1.7 markup or a 42% profit margin. So it's kind of helping me know some math. I'm going to come down here and barcode, I'm going to do chips. And say add it.
So do you have to put something in the barcode number?
No. It should be optional. I put something in because I have a barcode printer up here and I was going to play with it. But okay. So technically, because this is live, it literally is already in my inventory. So right now, even you guys could actually go up to the top and select on part number and type in chips.
And it would come.
Okay, and it says, hey, I have 5 of them in hand, okay? And if you wanted to see where those came from, you could hit usage, and it would actually point it to my PO number 2, okay? So it's already starting to physically track this piece of item. Okay, do you want me to add anything else? What else did I get from ShopGo? How about if I do some pop? I'll just do some cans of soda or something like that. I'll search, see if it exists. Nope, doesn't exist. Okay, I'm going to add it. And I'm going to sell this by the can, actually. I've got a whole bunch of cases, but I'm going to sell it by the can. And so I've got 24 cans of this that I can now sell. I'm going to categorize it. can of pop. The cost per, I would have to figure it out, basically to kind of figure out, okay, how much did I pay for my whole 12-pack, and then how much do I want to back it out? Let's just say that it's actually 50 cents a piece, and then I'd say sell price. How much is a can of pop? How much should we sell it for? $1?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll sell it for $1, and I'm going to actually add a barcode for that one just for fun as well. Add the item. So as soon as I did that, it automatically is throwing up some new flags saying, hey, check your math, you're out again, because my original one, 5 times 2 equaled 10, but I kept adding. So I'm now 24 times 50, which was $12 that needed to be added to my ticket. Okay. I could just keep building and building. I could leave it purposely out of sync and then sync it all back up together, or whatever I needed to do. In order to fix it, it would be very easy. I'd hit Edit Main, and I'd come right here and it says, I need a total of $22. And ideally, you would know this if, in like a real scenario.
Yeah, you know how many.
You really would. Okay. So at this point, I have 5 bags of chips and 24 cans of pop that I could sell. I could build you an invoice right now. I could print you out labels if I wanted to. I could do tons of stuff because it's now into my system. You guys want to see how you would print out barcode labels?
Sure. Yes.
Okay.
I accidentally got to that screen, so let's see how.
So watch this. Okay, so just so you can see where I'm at, I'm in the PO line items. This is an edit mode for PO number 2, which is tied to shop code. Here's chips. I could get to it from here, or this little BC right here stands for barcode. Okay. If you don't have BC, it might say DESC, which is like a description field.
Yeah,
Basically, it's a label.
DESC.
It's a label. Okay.
Well, it's the same thing.
Yeah. The only difference is I actually physically have a barcode, and you just have whatever your description was.
Okay.
Okay. So if I click on BC right here, it automatically says, hey, you're supposed to print 5 of these things. We're in Logan training. It's going to be called chips. It's going to be for $3.50.
How do you know it said 5? Where does it say print 5?
See this little teeny little spot right down here?
Okay.
What it does is it's actually pulling it right off of the quantity field. So if I do BC here,
Okay.
I should see 24 in this one for pop.
Okay.
And it kind of tells me how many I'm going to
Okay.
need. Then I can modify anything I want. If I don't like how it looks, I can switch to advanced mode. Like the barcode, the only thing that's actually stored in the database is physically this number, pop. Okay? All the rest of these pieces could be modified to whatever I wanted to if I needed to. But I'm going to go ahead and print off this barcode right here. And I have to select my label printer. And I know it looks like I have a ton of different printers and such, but I have like 3 or 4 or 5 right here alone. What you would end up doing is mostly your systems, if one's just your retail spot, it's just connected to your receipt printer. But if you're at home, you might have a whole bunch of different ones or whatever. I select this and then I just tell it however many I want. Say I wanted 3 of these. Like ideally, it said I should have done 24, but I don't really want to click 24 of these things. So I'm going to say 3 out of my Dymo label printer and hit print. Okay, so basically at this point I have 3 little labels.
Wow, that did really fast.
And so pretty casual, not a huge deal. But basically you would just end up sticking that right onto a little piece of whatever your bag of chip was.
No,
And-
this one's pop.
Oh, I'm sorry, this is pop.
You
Well,
could put it on your chips.
So if I wanted to go back, watch this. If I just go back and hit chips, look at this. It'll remodify my thing here. I'll say print, and I'll say Dymo label. Just do one of these guys.
There's chips.
There's chips.
That's better than $3.50 for a pop.
Okay, so watch this right here. If I actually click right here, and I want to scan it. Now look, I can see the cursor blinking. Okay, and I said part number or barcode, either one of those. If I'm really playing to this level, okay, part number, and it's in this field, and I scan this little thing that says chips. Okay, it just pulled me to chips, and it says, hey, I have 5 of those. Do I want to do advanced add to cart? Do I just want to add one to the cart? What do I want to do?
So, you'd have to be a little specific, because let's say you bought nacho from somebody and you bought,
Correct,
so
yes.
you'd have to be a little specific, because if you just did chips, but they were different prices, you just scan that and it would all go.
You have to
That is
say
perfectly
nacho
correct.
on one or sun on.
Correct, yeah. This was just very, very basic, but yes, that is 100%
We love
true.
you for being good basic.
I love it, it's good stuff. So what I'd like to do is kind of see where you guys are at. Basically what we're doing is just kind of dibbling into our first little POs and kind of creating some sort of an inventory item, okay? I'm not even worried about prices and quantities and all this kind of stuff. I just want to make sure that everybody's been able to create at least a PO. And I'll actually jump in here real quick and see where we're at. Okay, so Mark, you haven't even created a PO yet.
I'm like halfway in,
Okay, no problem.
so I got one on.
And Shannon, can I check to see what you did on yours?
Well, I haven't finished it.
Okay,
I was adding.
okay, no problem.
Okay, mine should be there now.
Do you want me to add?
I know what
Go
it is.
to town.
What did I do now? View card.
So your first time through this process, you kind of are like, oh my goodness, where am I? What's going on? We're going to kind of play with it, and then I'm going to kind of show you some of the hardcore concepts of it, and it'll help to show you exactly what the process and plan is.
I just got $5,000 from me at home.
Whoa.
I think I
I'd
did
say
that wrong.
edit. Find an edit link somewhere. $5,000 for a banana, that's huge.
Yeah, I think there should have been a dot before the 50. Okay. Those are expensive bananas.
Okay, so as you guys are doing this, I just want to make sure that everybody knows that we're doing this. Vendors, POs, inventory pool, okay? We're basically following that path. Yeah, it's fine. You don't need So ideally, you can actually show some of your items online if you wanted to. Like, if you're working inside of Adilas, but technically you can expose things to the outside world too, like say from e-commerce. Say you wanted somebody to, hey, I like 10 of these things, and then they buy them from you and you ship them.
So is it show price on the?
Yeah, so see how it's,
See how-
yeah, you don't even have any options right here because you don't have the permission to keep
Oh,
those settings. Those are just kind of showing you some stuff.
Which could be.
You could.
Refresh that page. Your little circle.
Okay, great. Scroll down. I'm going to show you what you just did. Look at this. 24 at $1.25. Eventually that ended up being $30 worth of Mountain Dew that you purchased. And you have 20 ounces of bottle of part number Mountain Dew. So watch this. I could pull up Mountain Dew on my screen now because you entered it in a PO. Watch this. I'll pull it. So I'll go here to part number, and I'll go like this. Go, what do I have under due? Oh, I got it from Smith's. It's $1.89 a piece. I've got 24 currently in stock. Okay?
So it doesn't show you what I see. It shows you what retail does.
Okay, guess what? I'm in the parts and general inventory homepage. I'm searching. If I wanted to see the cost, I could technically go clear down to the edit level, and I could come down and say, oh, it looks like it was $1.25. Okay? But,
Or I would be able to block what the customer saw.
oh yeah. That's why,
I mean,
that's
I
why.
want them to see the $1.25.
Oh, they'll never see that because guess what? When I actually do it on the invoice side, watch this. I want to say I do new cart, counter sale, and watch this. Do. How many of these bottles would you like? I'd like 5 of those things. Thank you. Okay, all they see is $1.89 times 5 equals $9.45 plus tax.
Now, I should be able to go back in and see how many I have left.
Okay, I haven't checked out. Mine's just in
Oh.
virtual memory. You want me to do that? Watch this.
Yeah.
Check out, and we're just going to say cash. Create the invoice. Okay, now why don't you click on your item. So if I go do 19 in stock.
Oh, you clicked on the item.
No, you can do it too. You'll see the exact same thing.
So I go